Hello everyone, I hope you're all having a fabulous Wednesday. Today I have a review on the Louis Vuitton Speedy 25 Bandouliere in the monogram canvas. I will be giving you a quick overview of the bag, my pros, my cons, my recommendations, and I will also be revisiting some of the things that I talked about on my first impression with this bag. And at the end of the video, I will also incorporate mod shots so you can see what it looks like on my body frame. So without further ado, let's get started. Before I forget, the measurements of this beautiful bag are 9.8 inches in length, it is 7.5 inches in height, and approximately 5.9 inches in depth. This bag is available in the monogram canvas that you see here, as well as the Damier Azur and the Damier Ben, and those come in retailing at $1,370 here in the States. It is also available in the empreinte leather as well as the epi, and those are a little bit more expensive. I also thought that I would incorporate the weight of the bag just in case maybe you have shoulder pain, or maybe you're not near a boutique and you kind of want to gauge how much the bag would end up weighing with all of your items inside. So this bag, because it also comes with a detachable, adjustable, all vachetta strap, whether it's crossbody or whether you opt to use it on your shoulder. Between these two together, they come in weighing in at 1 pound, 1.6 ounces. So I thought that I would add that in there as well. Now, as far as the strap goes, as I mentioned, it is all vachetta. So as you can see right there, it is made up of 3 different parts, 2 of those parts having adjustments. So you have a total of 6 different little holes for adjustments. So you have 3 here, and then you have 3 here. And the strap from tip to tip is 45.5 inches. So again, I just thought I'd add a little bit more information. All right, so now let's do a little tour of the bag. So here we go. There's the front side of it. I did opt to have a small luggage tag on here just to add a little bit personalization. So this does not come with it. The things that this item does come with is, of course, the bag, the strap, and it also comes with the lock. But I opted not to put the lock on there. Just I don't know, I feel it makes it a little bit easier. So this does have the rolled handles on the top that you can see. It also has a dual zipper, which most bandoulières have, versus the classic Speedies that aren't the bandouliere version. Those have just one strap versus the dual zippers that this one does. All right, so on the side, there's a side view of it. You can see it has a D-ring for the strap. There's the other side view. There's the back view of it. There are no external pockets and there are no feet. All right, and let me just show you guys inside very quickly. It's just a very, very simple bag. So here we go. Inside you have one zippered compartment. Now this is the newer model. The older models just had the pocket with, it's almost like a slip pocket, but now it does have the zipper detail to it. And you also have a D-ring on one of the tabs over there. And after that, it just has the brown textile lining on the inside. So again, a very, very simple bag. And I thought that I would also mention that the tabs, these tabs right here, once upon a time they were a lot flatter than they are now. Now they seem to have a little bit of a poof to them. So they kind of revamped the bag, if you will. So that is the quick overview of the Speedy 25 Bandouliere. Now let's talk about the pros, because I feel that this bag definitely has more pros than cons. The first one being versatility. I often talk about it on my channel, and that's something that I always look for when it comes to luxury goods, because I want to be able to incorporate a handbag or an item as much as I can into my lifestyle. So whether I choose to use this bag on the crook of my arm as a hand carry bag, as a crossbody bag if I want to go hands-free, or if I want to put it on my shoulder, I love that aspect. And to be honest, I feel that that's probably one of the main reasons why people end up going for bandouliere over the classic Speedies, just because it's that much easier to be able to incorporate into a lifestyle. So the fact that it's versatile, the fact that you can form it and you can end up using it in various aspects is great. Plus, a lot of people end up using this for travel because it's small, but it still fits quite a bit, and I will talk about that in just a second. So in my opinion, the number one pro on this bag is the versatility. Another pro to this bag is how incredibly comfortable it is, and I feel that because of its size, it's not too big, it's not too small. And the main reason why I find it to be so comfortable is because of the removable adjustable strap. So since this is the vachetta strap, as I mentioned earlier, I did check out another canvas print in this bag, and I do like them. I think that they are beautiful, but sometimes the treated leather ends up just kind of digging into my shoulder over time, or it really just ends up kind of being a little bothersome on my chest if I end up using it this way, which is the main reason, or the main way that I end up using the Speedy 25 Bandouliere, which is crossbody. So when it comes to the treated leather, I didn't find it as comfortable, but because this is the vachetta, as it starts to oxidize, as it starts to age, and it'll just end up softening over time, and it almost feels feels like you're not even carrying a bag. It's incredibly lightweight and it just forms to your body. So that's why the comfort level that this bag has is definitely off the charts, and another great aspect of it. Another pro that I'd have to say is due to its size, kind of like what I mentioned before, that it is very lightweight. I feel that when it comes to smaller bags, because in the canvas version, this is the smallest size and the largest size being the 40, when it comes to smaller bags, I feel that sometimes people might think that you can only end up fitting, you know, your phone, a wallet, and really not much else, but it is still a Speedy nonetheless. So you can end up fitting everything and the kitchen sink. So I love that. So let's say for the day, you absolutely have to carry your essentials with you. And let's say that you also want to carry your cardigan, a scarf, a hat, gloves. You can end up fitting everything in there plus all of your daily essentials without having to weigh down the bag. So I really do like that. Unless you end up carrying bricks or something like that. Whatever you choose to do with your bag is your own prerogative, but I'm just saying that even with all of the items that you end up adding inside, because it does have the vachetta strap, because this softens over time, it just makes this bag even more of a joy to use. So again, the fact that it's small but fits quite a bit, I often refer to it as packs a punch, is definitely another great detail of it. And I'd also have to say that when it comes to the 25 bandouliere, and it is probably, a lot of people sometimes are surprised by what I'm about to say, I am personally a classic Speedy type of person. I always have been. There's something about the classic Speedy that I'm always drawn to. It doesn't mean that I don't love the bandouliere, but when it comes to a hand carry bag, I end up preferring the size 30. I feel that it's very proportionate, and I am 5'5", and I am on the curvy side. So I feel that it really complements my body frame. But when it comes to the 25, I feel that it looks best crossbody on me. When I tried to put on the 30 on crossbody, it just felt like it was too large. It felt like it was very bulbous, and it almost felt like it just was protruding off of my body a little too much for my own taste. So the fact that it's small, it fits quite a bit, and the 25, like I said before, I feel that it really complements any type of body frame that you have, whether you're shorter, whether you're taller, or anything like that. So I'm always drawn to the 25 for crossbody. The fact that it has the dual zippers is also, in my opinion, a pro. So that way, if you only want to have the bag opened up halfway, or if you want to just put it all to one side so it's a little bit more secure, you can do that. Of course, I end up opting not to use the lock, but I know a lot of people end up doing it that way just in case they are going somewhere where it's very crowded, if you're out in public, if you're out sightseeing, if you're using this for travel, or even if you end up using the bag whenever you're using public transportation. You just want to make sure that you have a little bit more of, you know, that your items are a little bit more secure. The fact that you can end up putting the lock on there is another pro that I thought that I would mention. There is another pro that I wanted to mention, and that's the fact that because of its size, it doesn't really have a lot of sag. And usually when it comes to Speedies, they are known for having a sag. Once you put your items inside, they end up just kind of gravitating towards the middle of the bag. But because it's a smaller silhouette, because it's a smaller shape, it doesn't really have the sag. Even if I end up incorporating a lot of items inside of the bag with my 7 daily essentials, or even if I end up carrying a cardigan or anything else, it doesn't create the sag that most of them are known for. I also wanted to mention that besides the strap being incredibly comfortable, I also have to say that one of the things that I really appreciated about the most is the fact that it is an adjustable strap. So you have 3 adjustments here and you have 3 adjustments there. I always end up using mine on the last adjustments on both sides, just because I like the way that it ends up laying on me crossbody. It's almost perfectly on my hip, and it's very easy for me to access. So I do end up using it that way, but I'd have to say that I am very glad, I'm very happy that they decided to do this as an adjustable strap, because the fashion house has other bags that have straps that they consider, what's the word, or the phrasing, they end up calling them one size fits all type of strap, and I disagree with that because not everyone is built the same. And the fact that they opted to do this as an adjustable strap, I feel that it really, again, adds to the popularity of the bag, because you can end up adjusting it to whatever needs you have. So let's say for the day you want to use it crossbody, and let's say, you know, the following week you want to use it only as a shoulder bag, you can do that, you know, and it's not one of those bags that you just have on your shelf for this type of occasion. You only have it for this type of setting or anything like that. So again, kudos to Louis Vuitton for making this bag adjustable and not making it a one-size-fits-all type of strap. I am very, very, as I mentioned, appreciative of that. And I think, you know, I think that's one of the aspects that I really wanted to incorporate in this video is the adjustable strap. So I love that. And the last thing that I wanted to say about this bag, as far as pros being, I just, you know, you can tell just from me talking about the bag how happy I am to have it in my collection. A lot of you know, if you follow me on Instagram, how much I end up gravitating towards this bag. But I'd have to say the last pro, or the thing that I would have to say really adds again to the beauty of the bag, for lack of better phrasing, you get a lot of bang for your buck when it comes to this bag. As I mentioned, it does retail for $1,370 here in the States, but it's one of those bags that, at least in my experience, I was excited about it. I was happy about it. You know, Robert gifted it to me for Valentine's Day, and I never in a million years thought that I would end up using it as much as I do. I gravitate towards it quite often. It really rivals my 30s quite a bit, only just because I prefer the hand carry. But when it comes to the bandolier, the fact that you can be hands-free is so incredibly liberating. You can go out shopping, it's comfortable, you can carry everything with you, and you can, I mean, you can touch everything you want. Do you know what I mean? There's sometimes that I'm out shopping, and because I have a hand carry bag, it might get a little heavy. I might have to put it on the crook of my arm. But this one, I feel that I can do absolutely anything. I know it sounds ridiculous as I'm saying it, but you know, it's just one of those bags that I feel that it will pay for itself over and over and over again because you end up using it so often, and it really ends up I mean, it'll just end up fitting into your lifestyle perfectly. At least that's what I feel anyways. I know that a lot of people would disagree with me, and that's fine, but I just feel that that's another pro. So this bag, as I mentioned, has quite a bit of pros. I love using it, and sometimes I find myself not wanting to switch out of it. So that's enough for the pros, but now let's get into the cons. The first con that I would have to say is that without an organizer, and I don't end up using an organizer, not that there's anything wrong with them, it's just not for me. But I do appreciate what they bring to the table. But without an organizer, this bag, because of the opening, it can be really fussy to retrieve your items, especially if you're at the checkout or anything like that, or if you need to get to your items very quickly, because the opening is a little bit smaller. Now, when it comes to Speedies, the bigger the bag, or the bigger the Speedy, the bigger the opening. So it is a little bit smaller compared to, say, a 35 or a 40. But if you don't have an organizer, and because you do have the brown textile lining, and it is a little bit darker in there, if you end up having mostly dark small leather goods, it can be a little difficult to retrieve them, I'm not gonna lie. And I only say that because I speak from experience, because a lot of you know, as I mentioned, I don't end up using an organizer. I had all monogram items inside of this bag at one point, and I was at the checkout. I was trying to find my Louis Vuitton 6-ring key holder, and I just felt that I felt like I was going crazy because I kept going round and round in circles trying to find it. And finally, I ended up pulling out my phone from my back pocket and just kind of shining a light in here because of how difficult it was to retrieve. So again, it can be a little fussy, I'm not going to lie. The other con to this bag, at least I feel this way, is that when it comes to larger wallets, such as the Louis Vuitton Insolite wallet, the Louis Vuitton Organizer, Zippy, or Chanel wallets, or anything that is a full-size wallet or a larger cosmetic case, because of the size of opening that this bag has, you end up having to tilt them on their side in order to fit them in. And that's fine and dandy. They end up fitting in there once they're in there. But when it comes to larger wallets, when it comes to being at the checkout, I feel that it's still fussy. And this goes back to the whole fussiness that I was talking about. I don't want to have to think twice about how I'm retrieving an item or how I'm putting it back. I want to be able to just grab it or just throw it back in there if need be, if I'm in a hurry or anything like that. So the fact that I feel you have to be a little bit more calculated, I know that sounds a little dramatic, in order to fit it inside, I feel is probably one of the cons, just because of the size of the difference of the wallet versus the opening. So usually when it comes to the Speedy bandolier, I oftentimes go for more compact wallets, such as the Chanel O case. The Louis Vuitton compact zippy wallet is great in here, as well as some of their smaller bags or some of their smaller wallets similar to the O-Zip coin purse from Chanel. So because again, I don't want to have to deal with how I'm fitting it in there or anything like that. I go for smaller leather goods. But these guys, I do love them. I think they're fantastic. But again, the fact that you end up having to tilt them on their side to fit them in is just something that I prefer not to deal with, just because I don't want to think twice again about how I am using the bag or how I am laying the items inside of my bag. If you end up having an organizer, I feel that it might be a little bit easier, because that way you can just stick your hand inside and then you have your wallet there and you don't have to pull out the entire thing. So I thought that I would also mention that, because I did have a few people in my comparison video talk about that. So thank you guys so much for bringing that up to light so I can share. But just for me and my own lifestyle and just the way that I am when it comes to a large size wallet and the Speedy Bandouliere, I don't prefer it that way. I much rather end up going for a more compact wallet or more compact small leather goods in general when it comes to this bag. I also wanted to update you on my first impression of this bag. I was excited to start using it. I did have one, not necessarily concerned, but I was a little bit worried as far as the opening, because as I've been mentioning throughout the video, it's not as generous as other Speedies. And I felt that in the beginning, the zipper was a little stiff. And at the time, I was using my Chanel O-zip or my O-case in the red lambskin leather. And I kept thinking, if I end up using this in there, because the zipper is so stiff, because the opening is so restricting, I felt that I would end up scratching my small leather goods with maybe a little bit more delicate leather, and I definitely didn't want to do that, because zippers and lambskin definitely don't mix. So I was worried about that, and I've had this bag for a little over 4 months now. I've been using it quite a bit, and I can honestly say, I can happily say that the zipper has definitely relaxed over time. It's not as stiff as it once was. It's a lot more generous than it was in the beginning, more so to the point where I can end up fitting this in here and I don't have to worry about scratching the lambskin or anything like that. I have been using both of them together, and I still haven't had any issues with this O-case. So as you can see, there are no scratches on there. So that makes me really, really happy. So I am happy to report, yes, this ends up relaxing over time. And maybe the more and more that I use it over time, it'll end up relaxing a little bit more. Not to the point where it's going to lose its shape, but maybe to the point where the larger wallets or the larger cosmetic cases won't be as fussy to fit inside. I still feel that you're going to have to tilt them on their side to fit them in here, but maybe it won't be as fussy at the checkout. You know what I mean? So I thought that I would update you guys really quickly on my first impression, or more so the zipper situation of that video. Do I recommend this bag? Absolutely. I love this bag. And again, this is coming from someone who is a bona fide classic Speedy 30 hand carry type of person. I feel that I always have been, and I feel that I always will be. But when it comes to the 25 Bandouliere, when it comes to what it brings to the table, I can't deny it. I can't deny it. I love this bag. It's incredibly comfortable. It's versatile. It has, I feel that even though it has a slightly higher price point, the fact that it ends up paying for itself over and over again, because I feel that it's one of those bags that you will incorporate into your lifestyle very easily. There's so many pros when it comes to this bag. And again, it does have those cons, as I mentioned. If you don't use an organizer, it can be a little fussy. It is darker on the inside, but even with those cons, I feel that this bag is still phenomenal. It is fabulous. I think that this is one of the best bags in my collection, and trust me, it surprises me to say it, just because I have always gravitated towards a hand carry bag or a tote. Never in a million years did I think that a crossbody bag would ever end up on my collection, or that I would even end up liking a type of crossbody bag, especially the Bandouliere. If you guys have been watching my Minx Mondays, if you go back, 2 years or maybe a year and a half, I was saying the Bandouliere isn't for me. I appreciate it. It's not for me. It's not for me. It's not for me. And then last year, I kept thinking about it. I was researching it to death, and I just kept being more and more intrigued about it. I went into the boutiques, I tried them on, and the more I saw it, the more I heard about it, the more I was thinking, maybe I'll keep it to myself that I like it. You know what I mean? I made it onto the wish list. Robert bought it for me for Valentine's Day, and it sincerely blows my mind that I love the bag that much. And as I mentioned at the beginning of or throughout the middle of this video, oftentimes I find myself not wanting to switch out of it because I enjoy using it that much. It's just one of those bags I don't think twice about. And I know I get a lot of questions as far as how how I go about with patina. When it comes to any type of bag in my collection, I don't use anything to halt the patina process. I don't do anything to speed up the patina process. There's nothing better, in my opinion, than the oils from your hands. And as you use the bag, you'll start to age. It gets that honey golden patina that I long for when it comes to monogram pieces or demi-azur pieces. And if it does get a scratch on there, who cares? I feel that it's part of the bag. It's a characteristic of the bag. It adds a story of your bag. And I said this in a post, when it comes to beauty marks on handbags, it's a way of the bag telling a story. And there's no other bag that has your story. So in that case, I am somewhat of a storyteller. It doesn't bother me. I remember where each little nook and cranny came from for the most part. But it just, I don't know. It warms my heart knowing that I am thoroughly enjoying this bag. And I really hope that this video was helpful. If you guys get the opportunity to go into the boutique, try on the 25 if you're on the fence about it. Definitely do. It's not going to be for everybody, but I sincerely tell you from the bottom of my heart, this is a fantastic, fantastic bag. And I now see why the Bandouliere is such a phenomenal silhouette, why it's such a phenomenal, why it's such a great addition to any collection. So again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful. If you have any questions, let me know in the description or in the comment section down below. I'll be more than happy to answer them. And if there's anything else that you would like to see me review, I do have a few down the pipeline that I have for the next couple of weeks. So if there's anything that you want to see me do in specific, let me know in the comment section down below. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking on that red button down below and hitting that bell so you are notified when I upload videos, which is anywhere from 2 to 3 times a week. And I leave you with pictures on me crossbody. For reference, I am 5'5" and I am on the curvy side. And I think I'm just going to take pictures from my mod shot video. It makes it a lot easier. You know, it's incredibly hot right now. As I mentioned in the beginning, I want to just throw my hair up. So I think I'm just gonna take take those mod shots, and hopefully that ends up helping out. So thank you again for watching, and as always, make it a fabulous day or not, the choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.